Omar.
Rob.
Dude, I know you got to see this. Have you seen the cliffhanger?
Which
I know
one?
it's a kind of spoilerific, but I wanted to talk about. No,
Stop
no,
talking.
no, I know
Stop
you've been
talking.
watching. Let's
Stop
talk
talking
about
right
this. Really,
now. Stop.
Today we're talking about cliffhangers. Yes, we are.
Okay, guys, I wanted to get us all together so we can talk about our favorite cliffhangers, whether it's comic books, video games, anime, manga, whatever. But also because this is our season finale. And we're taking a small break. We'll be coming back shortly. Old reader, new readers still going on, and then my hauls are still happening. But the panel is taking a break. So, who wants to kick it off? What is your favorite cliffhanger that left you on the edge of your seat and you want it more? You want to go?
Wait. We should all warn you here right now, before you even go anywhere near the rest of this episode. Spoilers.
Really?
That was cute.
Okay.
Okay.
Rob, start it off. What's your favorite cliffhanger? Anything. Video game.
Anything?
Bible. Whatever you want to talk about.
Bible.
The Bible's a huge
Jesus
cliffhanger.
is coming back.
Too soon.
So I'm going to talk about video games because there's a lot of spoilerific things that I'm sure you guys are going to cover that are other media. So I'm going to talk about video games. When I think of spoilers, we just got a release of Dad of War. There's a huge, not spoiler, sorry, there's a huge cliffhanger at the end of that. We're not going to talk about that too soon.
I wish we could.
It's too soon. And God of War 2 actually had a really cool cliffhanger as well.
What's the one that you chose?
But the one I'm going to choose is the most obvious one that I have to talk about is Half-Life 2, Episode 2. Because still, if you've noticed, we do not have Half-Life 3. Half-Life 3 confirmed. So, at the end of Half-Life 2, Episode 2, say your spoiler thing, please.
Spoiler.
A major character, I can't do it, I'm not going to tell you. A major character dies.
Yeah, now I wanna know.
Eli Vance dies, and this is a big deal. So then we have Gordon Freeman with his.
He's the main character.
He's the main character in the game.
Okay.
Have you not played Half-Life?
No.
I haven't played out.
Neither have I.
Please continue, Rob.
Oh my gosh! Okay, all right, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, a while ago.
So the deal is, the original Half-Life 2 was a huge narrative PC Armageddon type thing with Striders walking around like the name of your dog, and it was really, really well done, like storytelling in game. Then they're like, ooh, let's continue the story, which is actually a very well-written story with Episode 1. Then they had an Episode 2. At the end of Episode 2, major character Eli Vance dies, and your main character, Gordon Freeman, and Alex, they see like this big ship. They're like, oh, we're going to go here. We're going to go on this planet. We're going to find the I forget what the name of the ship is. They leave. Everything's going to end up great. But then like chaos and disorder happens, and then it stops. And we're like, okay, we'll get Episode 3. And then that'll conclude this arc, the story. That was well over 10 years ago, and no one's done anything to mention the original. There was like a leaked script of Episode 3 that might have come out, maybe potentially the writer he left Valve and like here is Episode 3 of Backlight or something, but like it's totally Half-Life 3. But still, there's no conclusion to the Half-Life saga. So when you talk about cliffhangers, there's nothing bigger than freaking Half-Life 2. When one day maybe we'll get Half-Life 3. I saw a picture with the Valve guy and Hideo Kojima, like Gabe Newell and Hideo Kojima together on Twitter, so maybe they'll finish it, but I'm not holding my breath.
We're never getting a third Valve game.
So your cliffhanger is one that has just sat hanging.
I'm really upset about this.
Mine is the exact opposite.
Okay.
The cliffhanger I want to talk about is, and I've talked about it before, when Optimus Prime died in the Marvel Comics. Okay?
Spoilers!
Dude! Yes!
It's 25.
All right, so
30 years old.
This is fairly early in the comic book run. Optimus Prime gets into like a computer game fight with Megatron, and because he cheated, or not cheated, but he let some in-game characters die so he could beat Megatron, he said, no, I lost. You should blow me the fuck up.
That sounds like
because that was the stakes of the computer game.
Wow, that's heavy.
And it's like, what? But they do it. And not the last page, but the second to last page of the book is Optimus Prime. And then the last page is the Autobots just driving away, and like the Decepticons say, "Ha, it's done. Let's go." And the guy who was overseeing all this, putting a disc labeled Optimus Prime into his disc folio, like me. you know.
Yeah.
And we've discussed the.
That's called a
the,
caddy.
you know, the alien life that fits on a floppy disk. But
Okay.
when I was reading that as a kid, you think to yourself, well, they'll bring it back next month, right? And then like next month's issue comes out, and no, they're just hanging out.
Still dead?
Yeah, still dead. And then like other hijinks ensue, and then the next month there's other hijinks. Oh yeah, but there's a couple of panels of the Autobots gathering together to shoot Optimus Prime's body into space. It's like, oh,
They can't. You can't kill Optimus Prime.
I thought.
To be fair, they were killing characters left and right.
Yeah,
in
but
the
this
series,
was
though.
fucking Optimus Prime.
I know, but that was the first time he died.
And so
Wait, what?
The first time.
as a kid, I'm like, but they were gonna bring. Surely this is not how Optimus.
Well, that's the
Prime
other thing
dies.
too. If you're gonna kill Optimus Prime, it has to be a big, epic,
But
never
it's
way to
like,
do it, right?
yeah, but
Not like in a
he blows up the end
Videotron
of the comic
thing.
book. And I thought it
remember
was a
this book.
cliffhanger. I really thought like it was. Oh, what's gonna happen to Optimus Prime? And the answer is not a goddamn thing.
I can tell how much this
moving
still
on.
bothers you.
Yes, to this day.
And maybe people can't tell from home, but I'm very close to you right now, and I can see your eye twitch.
There's a little vein that's pumping out.
Little Dan's still in there, and he's
I haven't
still
gotten
saying.
enough sleep.
Oh,
Holidays are
that's
stressful.
crying away his night.
But yeah, so mine is kind of an anti-cliffhanger.
Yeah,
in that sense.
okay.
And I thought it was a cliffhanger, and no, it really just wasn't.
Wow.
It's very Dan answer.
All right.
Sad.
And I'm going to take this time to remind you guys to hit that like and subscribe button, please.
Thank you very much.
Comment down below.
Tina, Amanda, which one you ladies want?
Sure. So mine's a little bit different because it's not comic book or video game. It's actually a television show.
Okay.
So we're looking at season 5, episode 10.
Friends?
Who shot JR?
That's what I wanted to pick. No.
Is it
Who shot Mr.
No, not
Burns?
Buffy. It is Game of Thrones, Mother's Mercy. It is where Jon Snow dies. And I know it's recent, and of course that's a major spoiler.
The cliffhanger to end.
It is the
Jon Snow dies!
Shocker.
I didn't know that!
I know. And this is an awesome episode for a number of reasons. There's a lot of great acting. Lena Headey did an amazing job. But we're talking about the cliffhanger, and it is Jon Snow's death. And that's only because if you're a book reader, you still don't know what was going to happen because George R. R. Martin had not and still has not finished his series.
Winds of Winter, right?
Winds of Winter, I think is
I mean, he's
so
gonna watch all the footballs.
yes, and write all of his
No, she's right, though.
compendiums.
When you get to that point, it's the exact same point in book 5 that
Yep.
Jon Snow dies, and he's looking at his direwolf, right?
Yep.
And you're like, okay,
Ghost.
maybe he's gonna put his soul in his wolf, but
Yes.
you don't know. And then that's it.
Yeah.
And then season 7 kicks off, right? And you're
Season
like, oh my
6,
god,
yeah.
you have to wait a year before you find out. But I guess it's better than waiting. I guess it's been 5-6 years now since the last book.
But that was
Yes.
really the first cliffhanger in that series for people who had read the books.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Obviously,
Where everything
any
else
other
is like,
one.
oh, when are they going to
Yeah,
do this?
yeah.
Right, every time you're like, I know what's gonna happen the next season.
Oh, I know.
That would be my wife. She knew because she'd read all of this.
Well,
Yes.
right. I think
Yeah.
we
So
all,
it put
we all
your
had too.
TV watchers and your book readers on even footing at the same point.
Yeah.
And it was so fun.
We were
And what's
no longer
crazy
superior.
is that,
No,
John-
always superior.
Kit Harington even was going on all the talk shows, Entertainment Weekly, saying, oh, I'm not coming back next season. I know what you're talking about. I'm not coming back. He was legit serious saying he's not coming back. So the theories were abounded. The warging into the ghost and,
The best part about this is getting pictures, text messages from Amanda going, do you think this looks like Kit Harington?
when they're filming when they're filming in
maybe.
Belfast, they're like, oh no, he was just
And I
doing
kept
some
fucking
promo
with her. I'm like,
stuff.
oh no, he's dead. Like, he's gone. They're
Yeah.
never bringing him back on, so.
Well, didn't he get pulled over speeding by some guy? And the guy
Yes.
was like,
Yeah.
I'll let you go. But,
You gotta tell me.
You gotta tell me. You live? Yes, that is what happened. So it is just one of those that's gonna sit in the zeitgeist forever, and I think it is one of the best cliffhangers.
You're right. That is a good
Yes,
TV episode.
it is a
It's
great
hard to
TV episode.
it's hard to choose TV episodes because there's so
So many.
yeah.
So that's great because you are experiencing, unfortunately, what anime fans experience all the time. Because when a manga comes out and it's going on and it's good, they want to pick it up for an anime. And then they catch up to the manga and what the hell are we gonna do next, guys?
Let's go drive cars!
Dragon Ball, Goku getting his driver's license.
Exactly. So you have to do some type of filler like One Piece does with the Foxy Pirates. Screw the Foxy Pirates.
At least you all get fillers. In Berserk in 1997,
Yes.
it ended.
It ended.
In Naruto, there's also fillers. They're just running around doing ninja stuff. It's cool.
Or you have, unfortunately, like Hunter x Hunter that just sort of disappears for a while. We will never get an end. I mean, I could go on and on. And I know I said I was going to do Attack on Titan because it is excellent. I mean, every episode almost ends on a cliffhanger. Every season almost ends. But I'm going to go back and do One Piece.
What's in the basement?
What's in the basement?
What's in the basement?
Oh, God, no. Okay.
That's not a line from Rocky Balboa.
No.
Go ahead.
So Kuma, when Kuma makes his appearance, his final appearance, spoilers.
Oh God!
I'm sorry.
It's your fault. You're 5 years behind.
I know you
I am.
Wait. Before Dr. Vega, like, totally transitions and takes his humanity.
Yes.
He has one mission left to basically save the One Piece, the Straw Hats. But we don't know it in this episode. So he appears and he starts one by one systematically hitting the Straw Hats and disappearing them. And Luffy doesn't know what's going on. No one knows what's going on. He just knows, and he's seeing his teammates being taken out one by one. And we don't know if they're dead, if they're alive, what his paw has done to these characters. And you can just see as Luffy's trying to save each of his characters, like his heart, his soul is rendered apart. And you're like, oh God, what just happened to Nami? What just happened to, everybody around him? And he's left by himself. And you can see just as Kuma comes forward that he's ready. He's like, just take me out. I'm done. It's over. And then that's it. You don't know what's happened.
It's
that's true.
rough.
That's
it
true.
was just so hard to watch.
So wait, when was this?
This is
When was this? This is
3 times as good.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it's,
and they haven't gone back to that?
they
No,
have.
they
No,
have.
it's already
So how long
happened.
did you have to wait?
We had to wait. So that was the end of the season.
Okay.
So we had to
a
wait.
season in anime though is a little different though.
It
than
is
season.
a little bit different. So we didn't have to wait as long, but it was still an agonizing wait.
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially with
You
One Piece,
still-
which is
yeah.
over 800 episodes though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that season is like a week. Next week's like seriously. I mean, if you have
there
so
was,
many episodes.
I think there was a break when that happened because
Yeah.
that
and
was significant.
I think Oda actually took a break, even in the manga, he took a break when that happened because he does take periodic breaks, and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen here?
But then what actually does happen afterwards is totally worth it.
It's a sigh of release.
Yeah.
But that cliffhanger, when I hit that point in the anime, I was going, oh shit. Like, is this going to mean,
Who's Kuma?
The big dude with the hair,
bear.
the bear.
he carries around his Bible.
Do I have his toy?
Yeah, you do.
You do.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the Bible. So it's Bartholomew Kuma.
I gotcha.
Good call. That was good. That was
was a
good,
good
Richard.
one.
Yeah.
All right, so I actually decided to do a video game too.
All right.
So I figured this one would be safe. I kind of wanted to talk about the new God of War. But I'm gonna,
I think God of War 2 had a good cliffhanger. Like the ending of God of War 2 was freaking huge.
Yeah.
Never played that one.
Oh.
All the gods come back to
Yeah,
get
Yeah,
you.
it's like all the gods are there and you're like, oh shit, there's more.
It was me! And then God of War.
Wait, God of War, like Dad God of War?
No, don't. No,
I
God
don't
of War
think a
is still on the
spoiler
PlayStation,
is
yeah.
that he's a father. It shows his son in
On the box.
It's a meme that's everywhere, yeah.
All right, so I want to talk about something a game which their sequel was just announced.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dragon Age 4. So I was talking about Dragon Age Inquisition. So Dragon Age 4 was just announced, and we know who the big villain of that is. Solus. He's coming back. But the big twist in Dragon Age 3 was that Solus was your bro, and it turns out he's behind everything. He's the big bad. He's going to be the big bad of Dragon Age 4.
He's Griffith.
Right. So you finish Dragon Age
Effectively.
3, you beat your big bad, you seal the rift. That's the whole point. You're supposed to
Yeah.
be sealing this big rift in the sky with all of your fantasy buddies. And one of those buddies is this very pretentious bald elf named Solus, who you think is your friend. A little pretentious, a little bit of a jerk.
Well,
but your friend.
that's your problem. He's an elf and he's bald.
Yeah.
And
Right
his
from the
name
beginning.
is Solus.
Yeah.
Like, is it spelled soul less?
S-
Well,
Oh,
it sounds. It
SS.
sounds.
Wow, it
so you might
sounds
as
like
well be like,
A lot of foreshadowing, yeah.
Like, I'm not Sherlock, but I'd be like, that man has no soul. He's not in my party.
I don't know why, but alarm bells are ringing.
So it's revealed at the end that Solus is actually the Dreadwolf. He's a god, basically. So
wow.
he is an ancient elf. Elves no longer live forever. but he's one of those that does, and he's the reason that elves no longer live forever. Oh, wow. And he's going to, you go to talk to him like, hey, what's up, bro? I thought we were friends. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna have to destroy your world for the elves because I did a big bad back in the day and I gotta fix that. So you gotta die. I'll give you 5 years. You fix it. Also, I'm taking your hand. It's gone now. All right, bye. And that's how it ends. And so...
How long ago was that when Dragon Age 3 came out?
3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
I think. But when if you romance him, it's devastating because you fall in love with this man and he leaves you and there's nothing you can do. And you can say, I love you, please don't leave. And he's like, nah, I'm still going to destroy all of humanity.
My bad.
Peace.
Oh, you fall in love with Solus.
Wow.
You can. You
Oh,
can
really?
romance him. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it was a huge, huge twist because this guy you've traveled with this whole time. You've gone to really
Yeah, that is
trust
a
all
big
these
twist.
people because when you play a Dragon Age game, it's like it's like they're real people and like you're really involved. And he's just like, deuces, see you next game. Hope you live. Enjoy your next 5 years.
I know you're very invested because every time I signed on to PlayStation, you were playing Dragon Age, and I was like, oh, Maddie's playing Dragon Age again.
I'm playing it again right now.
You're replaying it?
Yeah.
Oh, you liked it that much. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to talk about my favorite cliffhanger. This was difficult for me because there's so many good cliffhanger in comic books. And I only had to wait a month if I had lived back then in 1981. Or I was alive.
You were alive back in 1981.
I was not reading or collecting comic
He
books
didn't
at
want
the
to show his
time.
age.
I had to wait 8 years to find out what happened after this issue because that's how long it took me to find this issue for a reasonable price. So this is part of the Dark Phoenix saga. This is X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 132. This is the Hellfire Club as they literally wipe the floor with the X-Men. They take out each one of them. It's new characters. And Wolverine is kind of like the last man standing, right? And this is before anybody kind of knew that Wolverine was a badass. Like, you didn't know how badass of a character Wolverine was. So the final panel is he's in the sewers, because that's where they took him down to. Mm-hmm. And he turns around and he says, now it's my turn. And that's where it ends, and you're like, holy shit, what's he gonna do? It's just one guy, and he's got 6 claws, right? Yeah, he's indestructible skeleton and a healing factor, but I mean, there's like 100 of these guys. And this solo issue right here is what took me 8 years to find out what happened. And he cuts all these, so these guys aren't robots. These guys are not robots, they're human beings behind the mask. And he cuts their arms off and their hands and their feet. And oh my god, I love Wolverine. This is this was one of the greatest cliffhangers for me because, like I said, I had to wait 8 years. This is before the age of internet. Where I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on Comixology really quick and find out what happens next.
That's
no,
what
that doesn't
like
sound. You don't sound like that. You may. You may. But
Dang.
this was before trade paperbacks. Like,
Yeah,
I had to go to a comic book store and. Can I look at this comic book? I'm 8 years old. No, you cannot look at that comic book because you can't afford it. So I couldn't even take the comic out to look at it. I had to wait 8 years to find it and then buy it. And so this means a lot to me. Like, I had to wait 8 years to find out what happened to my favorite character. And spoilers, but he beat the shit out of
I
the
can see just on that cover.
Yeah, it looks like he was
all
lashing
by
out.
himself. And I'm like, damn, Wolverine is the man. Anyway, it's part of the Dark Phoenix saga, and it's one of my favorite issues.
So those are some of our favorite cliffhangers. We want to know what some of your favorite cliffhangers are. So go ahead and leave those in the comments below. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Thanks guys for watching.
Omar, I don't think we have enough topics to get up to 88.
Topics? Where we're going, we don't need topics.
Omar, I don't think we have enough topics to get up to 88.
Dan, where we're going, we don't need topics.
Really? You fucked up the line?
Alright, fine, do it over!
One take Omar. Take 15.
Can that be
I don't like that my nickname's being used with that tone.